Hello, how you guys all doing out there? It is Darren and Joe over at Urban Hillsides Real Estate and your Thursday 2 p.m. show, Real Estate Reality. So thanks for joining us once again. For those of you that have been with us a while, please follow us, like us, ring the bell, do all those great things to help us reach out to more people. And for the people that just started with us, do the same. And thanks for joining us. How you doing, Darren? You started talking to me about some co-listings out in the middle of Egypt.
That's all right.
What are you doing?
We could sell in Egypt, man. It's just, we some more court-driven sales and a lot of technical stuff, which is a strength we have in following through with that and helping deliver good information to get things done.
Great. Well, good news. Congrats to Tessa, one of our clients. We did get her place in Mount Washington leased to fine gentleman who seems very upstanding. So congrats to him as well.
Congrats to Jackson. Yeah, it does seem like a really good match. Absolutely.
Yeah. We will, I believe, have something coming up in Montecito Heights. We're just tightening that up now. I think that'll be out in maybe February at least for showings and maybe a March start. We'll see how that all pans out, but stay tuned for that. Okay, well, great. Darren, I thought maybe we should do a quick little market snapshot of how the markets are reacting to yesterday.
Sure.
What do you know? I know it went up a quarter point.
Right. So yesterday's news, the Fed did raise rates quarter point. I think pretty much expected.
Right.
Mortgage rates went down once it happened. The stock market is split. I think it may have ended up all positive, but definitely the NASDAQ has been moving up a lot. I think the Dow may have ended up about flat today.
Right.
So I think market reaction is good. As expected, they're going to kind of be leveling off. There might be a few more hikes still, but they're not expected to be big.
Okay, well, let me just name off what we've got here. Today's mortgage rates, 30-year fixed 5.99, 15-year fixed 5.17, and 30-year jumbo 5.65. And then 5-1, 6.12, 30-year FHA 5.36, 30-year VA 5.37. So it's nice to see everything in the fives, more or less, except for that one.
And again, we choose this neutral site, but some are better than that, some are worse than that, depending on your specific situation, down payment, what programs different lenders have. But it's definitely a basis for us to gauge movement in the industry from.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, and I'm sure we're going to expand on this in a upcoming episode, but we've had some really good talks with some lenders that maybe normally in our past we wouldn't be reaching out to, but they have some compelling stories and some very competitive things service-wise and rate-wise that we'll share with you later. But we've got some new lenders on the horizon, I think.
Absolutely.
Just to see it graphically, here's a 30-year fixed mortgage rate picture. And again, kind of flattening out once more. And then we've got the daily view there, down 0.05, I think as of today, and then 0.13 down, then a couple ups. But overall, right, some good news for everybody, I think. Cool. All right. Let's move on to... my favorite part of the show. Darren Hubert and Joe Cloninger are real estate agents at Avenue 8 under the Urban Hillsides brand. All opinions expressed by Urban Hillsides or guests on this video are solely their opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Avenue 8. You should not treat any opinion expressed by Urban Hillsides as a specific inducement to make a particular investment or follow a particular strategy, but only as an expression of Urban Hillsides team's opinions. This video is for informational purposes only. Okay, well, there you go. Why don't we move off to our topics?
Sure.
Let's see here. Let me just pull it up. Let's see. So the first one you pointed out today was about more lawsuits. Let me grab that. Let's see. Okay.
So I'll preface this as you look for it.
Yep.
It's important to understand. I think from it benefits everyone in the process if whatever is acknowledged and understood in a property is disclosed.
Yep.
There's a saying in real estate, if there's a question, you should always disclose. If there's a question of whether you should or shouldn't, the answer is always yes.
Default.
As a seller, for sure, because lawsuits go in one direction for the most part. It's buyer suing seller and agents involved commonly as well. And these particularly rise when there's any market shifts, when a market flattens, and it's triggered by maybe a slight sense of buyer's remorse if if their value isn't rising rapidly. I mean, they can historically show you that they will come into play more when values are not rising at rapid rates. It's just something that buyer will. It's more likely to absorb and say, "Oh, I'm sure they didn't know about this."
Right.
But as soon as, "Oh man, I don't have great value, and now this issue's happened," and it's hurting.
Well, that's the thing
too.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, right? The turning of the market. Yeah, we've definitely read some headlines where it talks about buyer's remorse, buyer's guilt about purchasing now rather than waiting. Well, let me go through this a little bit. This is from businessinsider.com, and I will go ahead and put this in the comments. Maybe you can grab it. I know they are a paid content service, but let's see what we can do here. Business Insider reads, more home buyers and sellers are suing real estate agents claiming they were misled about the value of their homes. Looks like a worried buyer there. Lawsuits against real estate professionals increased 9% between 2021 and 2022 as home prices declined. Most lawsuits aim to trigger reimbursements under professional liability insurance policies. Zach Vollmer, an SVP at Victor Insurance Managers, expects that number to increase in 2023. As Frank Sinatra once crooned, regrets, I've had a few. Now that home prices are starting to decline across the U.S. because of a souring economy, a growing number of recent buyers and sellers are feeling more than regret after exchanging keys and leaving the closing table. In the past year, there has been steady rise in lawsuits being filed against agents, brokers, and other real estate professionals as both home buyers and sellers try to recoup their lost home value. Zach Vollmer, the senior vice president of real estate at Victor Insurance Managers, Inc., a global underwriting firm, told Insider. Vollmer said that the number of lawsuits filed between 2021 and 2022 increased by 9%, although Vollmer declined to provide specific figures, citing proprietary information. These cyclical increases are driven by the unhappy consumer, who is more likely to file a suit after having had a negative emotional experience during a real estate transaction, Vollmer said of the trend. Vollmer added that lawsuits targeting real estate professionals are common when the home prices fall. Oftentimes, they are filed by sellers who waited too long to list their home or buyers who might have overlooked a minor issue during the inspection process and now live in a home with a value below what they paid, Vollmer said. Any comments there so far, Darren?
Well, I think that last paragraph summarizes it more than anything. And I was referring to buyer-seller, but then there is a seller to agent dynamic that happens as well. We can elaborate more on that at the end.
Okay. Let's see. The increasing frequency of lawsuits coincides with a slew of predictions from real estate experts who expect home prices to continue to decrease in 2023. For instance, Lawrence Yun, the chief economist at the National Association of Realtors, told Insider in December that half the country could see home price declines of nearly 10%. Analysts at Moody's were more optimistic and said home prices could fall between 3 and 8% by the end of the year. In most cases, Vollmer said the lawsuits contain allegations that seek to trigger reimbursements under a real estate professional's liability insurance policy. Some of those claims include non-disclosure, meaning an agent or broker withheld material information from their client, or negligence and misrepresentation during the transaction. What makes this situation different is that inflation, supply chain disruptions, and rising material costs all contributed to the increase in the average paid claim of $39,000 in 2022, representing a 13% year-over-year climb. Vollmer explained. Looking ahead to 2023, Vollmer expects the number of lawsuits filed to increase, although it's impossible to project exactly how many will be filed by year's end. He doesn't expect many lawsuits to be filed by borrowers who find themselves underwater, meaning their home value is less than what they paid for it because of new laws implemented in the wake of the 2007 recession. Oh, interesting. An analysis of mortgage data by Black Knight found that more than 270,000 borrowers were underwater on their mortgage as of December 2022, representing approximately 8% of all home buyers. However, Vollmer added that lawsuits concerning wrongful evictions, property preservation, and short sale transactions when a large number of homes face foreclosure could cause that number to rise. The dynamics of a down market are unique, but the consistent driver is a populace unhappy with the state of the housing market, Vollmer said.
Sure.
All right.
So, yeah, shift. Disclose across the board, always from a seller, also from an agent to a seller, right? Prepare and present comparables. One of the highest risks, I think, from an agent perspective would be if it's not fully exposed to the market, if there's a potential dual agency or an off-market sale, that definitely creates a more likely opportunity for an unhappy seller. So it's always about providing as much information as possible, disclosing as much as you know, and just letting the chips fall where they may upon doing that. But even with that said, and we experienced a lawsuit last year, which, in my opinion, 100% frivolous. Just an opportunist buyer who, and in most cases, they'll pull in both the seller and the seller's agent. There was no issues. But what the insurance companies do, and agents on the other side kind of know this, is they'll just settle. It's cheaper to settle.
Yeah.
So they'll
Don't
get
drag
something.
it out.
Absolutely. The cost of dragging it out are very high. So disclose as much as you can whenever you can, and staying out of court is always great.
Good stuff. All right. Well, let's move on to examining real estate of the rich and powerful. This is by way of dirt.com. Let's see if I can get it here. And I picked out a couple, Darren, that I thought would be interesting. Let me put this also on the comments. And one that I thought really spoke to us in terms of some past sales of ours. I thought it was funny. Hold on here. Let me go. Okay, it's out there now. The first one I wanted to show was, and regretfully, I did not watch this movie, but I know it's a big favorite of a lot of people. Did you watch Heat? That movie, and it was Robert De Niro, I think Al Pacino, Danny Trejo here.
Yes, I did.
So in East Los Angeles, the home that is on stilts, and I guess it was Danny Trejo, his character's house, is up for sale. So Danny Trejo's infamous stilt house from Heat is up for grabs. And if you can see the photo there, it indeed is completely 100% on stilts, it looks like. So not many real estate listings can claim Robert De Niro and Danny Trejo filmed here, but a singular property in East LA currently is for sale. The stilt house, as it is largely known, which portrayed the residence of Danny's character Gilbert, the longtime getaway driver of master thief Neil McCauley, De Niro, and his gang in the 1995 action hit Heat, was just hit the market for a cool $1.599 million. Delicately perched atop a set of slender steel supports stilettoed into a steep hillside overlooking virtually all of LA at 1219 Dodd Circle. The dwelling was only featured briefly in the landmark film, but remains a favorite of fans worldwide. Its unique profile framed against the city lights, cutting an indelible image on screen. All right, well, let's see what this looks like. Oh, there it is. Wow. It's really bare, all to itself. Huh. Oh, there it is. A little bit of a close-up. Now, I don't know when this was built. It says a post-1945 stilt house here, it says, was also more commonly single-story in plan, reinforcing its image as a tray or platform rather than a series of masses that fit the slope of the hill. Wow. So this has been up there for a while, it sounds like. Beautiful inside. Look at that.
Yeah.
Mid-century. Definitely a great view. But wow, man, is it 1.599 in East LA? Maybe it is.
I don't know that answer. I mean, we sell
Yeah.
plenty of stilt houses. We've had success with that, and it's very interesting dynamic with those who are comfortable with it, those who are not. Look at that. That's a nice master.
Yeah.
One of
Yeah.
the interesting things about Meister Bathroom, yeah. One of the interesting things about dealing with stilt houses is
Uh-huh.
the exposure of the mechanics of a house, the plumbing, the ducting. It's often very visible because a lot of the ones we sold have no attics and they're stilts, so it's just all visible from underneath. I didn't quite get that there, but maybe it's there. I just wasn't paying attention in that smaller photo.
Yeah.
So it's easier to work on things unless you need to get a really long ladder, and if people are afraid of heights, you might need to find another contractor.
Yeah. Well, so this article also points to maybe one other reason why it's 1.599. Highly cinematic, it is no wonder filmmakers have been drawn to stilt houses for decades, with cantilevered properties commandeering the screen in such productions as Charlie's Angels, Bosch, Body Double, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Lethal Weapon 2. Because the style is most closely associated with Los Angeles, the appearance of 1219 Dodge Circle in Heat, which has been called director Michael Mann's love letter to the city, proved a natural fit. Maybe they'll get some location rental here, right?
Yeah,
From,
it's possible.
From productions.
It's getting some visibility on this website. Yeah.
Let's see. All right. Okay. Well, I guess I need to watch Heat. I've heard it's a really good movie. The next one I want to show you guys is, let's see here. We're going to go off to, here's a popular one. I know we're all worried about Jennifer Lopez. Let's see. Jennifer Lopez's lavish Bel Air retreat lists for $42 million. Wow. Let's see what $42 million looks like. Okay. Pretty humble. Wow. Beautiful. Beautiful. I wonder if she's even lived in here once. Let's see. Oh, and this is brought to us by our cousins of real estate, Carolwood Estates. Great.
How are they our cousins, Joe?
Well, we have some similar leadership, I think. So,
Oh, got it.
right?
Yep.
Well, nothing to complain about here. Oh, that's where Jennifer Lopez works on her glutes. Awesome. Well, great. I'm sure that'll sell this year sometime or next year. Beautiful. Might take a while, though.
Yeah, the bigger ones do. It just really has to be a match, and the timing has to come together.
Yeah. Okay. Well, great. The next one I'd like to show is what they call a Palm Springs time capsule. All right. I think you'd love the color combinations here, Darren. Go.
Oh,
Yeah. Candy-colored time capsule
Wow.
continues to be
it's
a
like
wonder.
they're in the
to
room,
behold.
man.
Yeah, very much so. So this is going for $2.299 million. It's in Palm Springs, California. It's 3,350 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 4 baths. Built in 1969. This Palm Springs pad made a big splash when it popped up for sale a few years back. Built in 1969 by local real estate developer Milton Seidner for himself and his wife Vera. The house went viral thanks to its eye-popping interior, which had been designed by Vera in the exuberantly groovy style of the era, and by some miracle had remained frozen in time for half a century. All right, well, let's take a look. All right. Looks pretty innocent from there.
Yeah,
But
it
as we
does.
go in, look at that. Statuary, green. What else? Yeah, she really coordinated those colors. Let's see. It is a time capsule. Gosh, man. It's like 1970 for sure. modernized
Yeah, in the
kitchen.
kitchen.
Good.
Sure.
Um, oh, there it is. Look at that.
Wow.
Isn't that great?
That's not the word that
Uh,
came to mind. It's wow. Look at that.
yeah.
You gotta love, carpet around a tub.
In blue, you go to your blue. And there you go. Gosh, I mean, for the kitsch that it is, you hope somebody doesn't destroy it, but you really got to embrace it. Hopefully,
Yeah.
that's a
I,
that's a lot to embrace.
what is this one priced at, you?
2.299.
Got it. Well,
Holy cannoli! That's a lot of bright colors. Made my eyes hurt. No words except it gave me a headache. Exactly everything is a grandmother on sedatives. Carpeting always a fail, especially in the bathroom. Looks like the Barbie doll house the neighbor girl had when I was growing up. Trying to find anything to like. Okay, the kitchen dining chandelier. There, I said something nice.
oh, there's stuff to like there for sure.
Yeah. Well, especially on these real estate sites, everybody's so harsh
They are.
in the comments.
Absolutely the case.
All right, one last one, and one last one. I'm going to skip one. So there were two in Los Feliz. I'm just going to go to maybe the more popular one. If you're a fan of Big Bang Theory, which I am not, my wife is. She loves it. But one of the main actors, Simon Helberg, says here, Price Chop, LA Home, and Butterfly Sanctuary. Why do I get a few? Oh, there you are. God, man, I feel like I can't hear you. So this is going for $8.997 million. It's 4,300 square feet, 5 bedrooms, 4.5 baths. It's on 3/4 of an acre, built in 1930. All that syndication money, I'm sure, is paid for this. Let's see. Yeah, Spanish. I'm not but
Yeah.
right? Just looks like a really solid house. You hope for $9 million.
Sure.
But yeah. All right. Well, good luck to Simon Helberg. I'm sure he doesn't need it, but good luck. All right. Well, let's move on. Darren, I punched up some solds that happened in the last 7 days. Yeah, it's beautiful. All right. We're done with that. Let me go ahead and bring up what we've got here.
So not a lot again, it looks like.
No, what was it? 12 maybe?
9, it looks like. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah. It was 9. Yeah. Let me look up. Let's see. Seller wins.
I will say the one standout to me is the one that we said was way underpriced. It's one of those.
Which one?
It's one of those buyer calls where you're like, man, I'm sorry, man, that just is not going to sell for that price.
Right.
I hate that I have to be the one to tell you that.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look at just the general numbers. So, median days on the market, it was around 1 month. It now jumped back up to its usual 2 weeks, 14 days. You'll see there. We started tracking pendings. It went up slightly to 12 this week, over 9 versus the week before. You can look at those percentages in terms of list price. And I don't know. I should have found the average percentage, but not huge fluctuations across the board. And then we will pick out a couple seller wins and a couple buyer wins. So here, let me get rid of this. Let's see here. Okay. All right. So we're going to move to 4536. Hold on. Yosemite. And this started at a price of $899,000. And let's see. And it went to $1,145,000 for a $246,000 increase from list price. It took 10 days on the market to sell. Was this the one you were talking about? No.
Absolutely.
Oh, no.
Yep, this is it.
Was it this one? Yeah. Yeah, this is severely underpriced. Okay, let's see what they saw. 4536 Yosemite Way. This is Eagle Rock. 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 1,164 square feet of living space. Sold for $1,145,000. It's on an 8,000 square foot lot. And see, this is 10 days on the market. This was brought to us by Emily Sinclair. And on the buy side, Julene Exum and Vanessa Yan. So congrats to them. But yeah, I'm sure they got a lot of eyeballs on this, right?
Yeah, 10 days on the market wasn't 10 days to sell it. It's just they got some market exposure, a couple open houses. My guess is they, you know, had at least 10 offers, if not more.
Well, here's the news, Darren. Just as you say it, update: 33 offers received.
Oh, there you go.
Counters are already out. No more showings. Thank you. Owner has lovingly maintained the home for over 42 years and will make no credits or repairs. Well, there you go.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Next, let's move on. Okay. We're going to go off to Sunnycrest, 4413 Sunnycrest Drive. This listed at $1,998,000, and it landed at $2,150,000 for a $152,000 increase, 108% of list price. 2 weeks days on market. Let's see. All right. 4413 Sunnycrest Drive. This is Glassell Park. 3 bedroom, 4 bath, 1,994 square feet. Sold at $2,150,000. Wow. 22,000 square foot lot. I imagine that's Hillside. That's a good sized lot, though. 14 days on the market. This is brought to us by a Sharon Elise Gavin. And on the buy side, Michael Fenton and Alexander Webb represented the buyers.
Yeah. Beautifully
Any
remodeled.
comments?
Very well designed, nice flow,
Yeah.
indoor, outdoor.
Yeah.
Good material choices, good lot size. This is a big number for that location. But they did it shows well. So
Well,
I'm not gonna be surprised.
I'm not sure if I saw it in here yet. Maybe you did, but it does cite that main house 1,994, bonus room 426 square feet.
Got
Bonus room is permitted, so that was good.
All right.
Yeah, so maybe that justifies some of that price. But yeah, that is a big price
Yep.
for sure. Yep. Okay, we're going to move on to what we think are buyer wins. And this is 436 North Westlake Avenue. It started at $1,149,000, and it landed at $1,075,000 for a $74,000 reduction. A little smaller was my observation than what we normally think of as a small lot. 94% of its list price. Days on market, 7. So pretty impressive for that. Okay. I know, Darren, we try to usually keep photos to like 25 to 30 or 35. I just wonder, like, I see these people with 47 pictures. It's like, wow, you can't tell that story better? It's like in a shorter amount of time? Or you just made no choices and those were all the photos. You didn't care.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Whatever. We've seen 70 photos, man, at times. It can get crazy.
Well, here, let me go ahead and read this off. So this is 436 North Westlake Avenue. Is that Echo Park? I think so.
Yes,
2 bedroom, 3 bath, 1,380 square feet. $1,075,000 was its sold price. Lot 2,248. 7 days on market, and this was brought to us by Jonathan Anozi, and on the buy side, Davi Noguera. So I think it looks pretty sharp.
Very interesting, long, narrow lot.
Yeah.
Boy, it just feels like they got the most out of this that they could. So
So as you're saying, so it's not a small lot. I just immediately when I saw the front, it's its own house. It's just a
it
small.
is. It certainly
Wow.
looks like it would be. It's the
Yeah.
same scaling of a small lot, narrow and tall, and rooftop deck. It's got all
Yeah.
the above. But there it is. Certainly looks like a single family to me. And all those
Yeah.
small lots are classified as single family, but no other structures, at least from all the photos we can see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, somebody got a good deal. I feel that's great.
Yeah.
All right. Our final one is, let's see here, Hoover. So 1522 North Hoover Street, 1,150,000. And this went for $1,050,000 for $100,000 reduction, 91% of the list price. Took 27 days on the market. And I think I know what you're going to say about this, but let's take a look.
Big lot.
Right? Are we going to see this house in the future?
We are. Yeah.
You
I
think?
mean,
You think that'll?
maybe a serious buyer who wants to do some work could occupy it, but there's certainly development opportunity to add units, to add square footage.
Yeah,
I mean, if we see it in the future, it will be with another unit or a much larger house.
Right.
If we don't, maybe somebody did buy it and they're just going to invest in it themselves. And
Well, I'm looking at the owner, and I don't know what this means, but it's KPA Compass LLC. So
yeah,
maybe it's an investor of some sort.
that's likely then. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're buying it as an LLC, you're probably not planning on living there.
And do you think? I mean, who knows what they're going to make? But if that was a large house sitting in Los Feliz, do you think that $1,050,000 gets you what you need by the time you're done? Do you think that's going to get to two something? And I know it's hard. I know it's hard to say, but yeah.
Sure. Yeah, timing of the market, all the above, but there's lots of upside there. I mean, I don't know what the zoning is, but the zoning looks like some very dense structures within proximity of that. It could end up being an apartment building.
LAR2.
Yeah. All right, and it was 8,000 square feet, so they could easily build at least 4 units on that site. It could be 2 large duplexes. It could be 4 small lots. So, yeah, there's growth potential here for sure.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, great. We are done with that portion of our live stream. And let's see. Let's move to actives. And I know I didn't give you a ton of time to look at this, so I apologize, Darren. But
it's all
you're usually good about finding what's needed. So let's see here. New listings. Okay. All right. Well, what do you see out there? And we'll take a look.
Let's start with 1671 Angelus.
So, Angelus, yes. Oh, hold on, guys. 1671 Angelus. Okay. Okay, 1671 Angelus Avenue. Let me go pull up some photos. 1671 Angelus Avenue. This is Silver Lake. 2-bedroom, 3-bath, 1,545 square feet. Listed at $2,300,000. Opens, let's see, today, 5 to 7, Twilight Open. Or I believe Saturday, 1 to 4. And 2 days only on the market so far. And this is brought to us by Tiffany Thompson.
Yeah.
So what do you think, man? I know we're going to look at this later.
It's a great pool home. It's a little dense amongst other structures, but it looks like they've created some nice privacy there. It's got some old world charm. It doesn't look like a flipped house.
Right.
That's for sure. It looks like an occupied space, maybe staged, but it's good. It maybe on the higher of the price side based on square footage, but in today's market, maybe it'll pull it off.
Yeah. Well, one thing I'm reading here is, even though it states 2-bedroom, there is a guest unit or guest bedroom, I think, below with its own bath. So
Got it.
That makes up for it. That's good. Yeah, it's got a nice Tudor stylet in the front.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Okay, what else do you see out there?
Let's see what else I located here.
Oh, and
Oh,
it only went up. I'm sorry, it only went up like two. Wasn't it like 23 actives last week, and it's like 25. I think that's it.
yeah, I thought it was the same. 23, 23, 20. It's consistent with what it
Yeah.
was last
Yeah.
week, and not as many sales. So again, we'll continue to monitor that and see how it looks like the flow of inventory is going. Yeah. 4108 Supreme Court.
Wow.
Just because it's the Supreme Court, man.
So this is a funny one you bring up. My sister-in-law, who I told you she's been looking much farther places, saw this, and she's going to see it Saturday. Got her excited that she might be able to afford something here, and we made an offer. I was telling her on the place just to the left. I don't know if you remember Supreme Court,
I don't.
but yeah, well, I'll remind you. I think you'll remember it. 4108 Supreme Court. This is El Sereno, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, in 893 square feet for $665,000. There is an open Saturday and Sunday. Saturday 12:30 to 3:30. Sunday 1 to 4. And it's only been 2 days on the market. Brought to us by Carrie Edmead. On the listing side. So I almost forget the client, but just to the left, there was a really nice small Spanish, and it had a really nice yard with like chicken coops, and it had a little urban farm feel to it. God, I forget who it was. It might have been, do you remember Arlie and Mario? I think it was them.
Oh,
We went there.
okay.
It was like 2-3 years ago. So I told my sister, the hope here is that it's a really cool backyard. Looks like it could be, and there's certainly no neighbors in the back, which is nice.
I have a hard time believing this is going to stay at this price, anywhere near this price.
Even 4 bedrooms and 900 square feet. Yeah, right.
I know. Tear down a wall, make it 3 bed. I get it. I
Right.
get it.
Yeah.
But
700,
just
750 at least. Yeah.
somewhere between 750 to 8, I think, is definitely much more realistic.
All right. So this is another thing I noticed when she was talking about it. It's listed, get this, as a 1-bedroom. And the original square footage is 600 and I think 96,000. No, 696,000. 696. So yeah, I said, oh, maybe it'll run into some appraisal problems. I mean, but we know that'll favor somebody with more cash.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know. Was this permitted? Not permitted?
Right.
We don't know.
Yeah, that's relative. They may shy away from people with less down because of that. If actual assessor data is 1-1 and more than 200 square feet smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
be prepared for that as well. Maybe that's a question before you go show it to her. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I will find out.
Cool.
Okay. Let me get out of here. We're still in the throes of organizing this, but hold on, Darren. There you are. But next week, we may have our first guest on the show. So we're going to have a financial planner on. Greg, we met Greg through a new client of ours, and we're going to talk about why it's never too early to get a financial planner involved in your real estate picture. So stay tuned for that. And I think we've got some other guest shots hopefully coming this year, Darren. I think Carbon Shack, Mr. Steve Palrand, all that stuff. So it'll be good to share.
I think bringing in some professionals, people will enjoy looking and hearing people other than us, although I know they love hearing us every week. Gaining some different perspectives in those dialogues. And the financial planner one is a great place to start, I must say. It's very similar to what we say. It's never too early to start planning, to have a successful plan, so that there aren't surprises when you start considering a purchase. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, guys, have a great week. We'll see you next Thursday. And that's it. Take care. Be safe.
All right. Bye.
Bye now. See ya.